Well, the crime fiction is all about the world around us, what happens around us. When other literature is about well, it's about the inner life. Yeah. So when Olof Palme was murdered in 1999, the world asked themselves, what kind of country is this, where the prime minister comes on the street and being killed, and no one is being caught? And then the audience, the readers, they went to the literature to find the answers. What is the Swedish society about? What is the Scandinavian society about? And in the crime fiction, they might find some answers.
Or on the contrary, actually, because you can't find crime literature in a dictatorship, for example, or you can't find crime literature where there's a war going on. You can only find crime literature in very stable democracies, very secure societies. I've looked all over South America. There are no crime novels. And I spend a lot of time in Kenya, and people ask me, well, what do you write? And I say, crime novels, and they say, why? You can't find crime literature in Africa. I mean, people are dying of starvation. They don't need crime. So I think maybe it was the Olof Palme thing, but maybe it was the total opposite, that we are so secure now that we need to have some kind of violence around us in some controllable way. I don't know.
Okay, so that brings up an interesting point as to why people read these books, right? I mean, if you're talking about crime fiction being, you know, a way of reflecting society's ills and sort of analyzing the corruption in the society or what its problems are, that's one thing. That's almost sociology. Crime fiction is sociology. But most people, I think, read crime fiction to be entertained, right? And as you were pointing out, it's almost, they read it for the comfort of knowing that the chaos will be cured and that order will be restored. So what is it about the culture itself in the Scandinavian countries? Is it that crime doesn't exist? I mean, I want you to discuss this, being a police chief yourself. Is that some weird part of human nature that, like, we need to go to these dark places, and it's not being damn it, it's not being satisfied on the street. We have to read it in the books.
Yeah, well, you can search for these answers in psychological terms, like we're discussing now. Is Scandinavia so peaceful that crime literature automatically thrives in Scandinavia and also then spreads around the world? I think that is one aspect of the answer, but I also think that crime literature, or let's broaden the term and call it suspense literature, has a built-in attraction named plot. There are, of course, many great literary writers who write what I call think novels. The problem with many of them is that they are not talented enough to write 300, 400, 500 pages of philosophical text. You have to be a genius, really, to be able to write a literary novel that pulls the reader through that many hundred pages. So in writing crime or suspense or thrillers, we are privileged that we have a plot foundation for our stories, and we have to elaborate on character and language and all these things, but we have the plot. And I think more than the psychological explanation to why crime is a popular genre, I think quite simply crime fiction is exciting to read because it has a plot, quite simply.
I'm researching the answers for a long time, why people are reading crime novels. And I asked
feeling about this, Lisa?